It is.
Yeah, different.
Well, yes, what it is. I'm here with Adam Baum in the place to be.
Hey, salutations.
Tommy Steve, co-host. Welcome to Elements, where we interview everybody that's in the hip-hop elements, from DJs, producers, graffiti writers, b-boys, b-girls, producers, all of that together, right? So, but just for a quick introduction, to just get this on the way, and this is something real special here, we're going to drop Adam Baum's video, Blindfold, because this is some crazy, you'll see. Check it out.
3% of you people read books, because less than 15% of you read newspapers, because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force.
Mr. President, we still debating issues from 1967. Anytime we feel we hit the height of the deception, they apply to misdirection. And we just out here looking for this Wi-Fi connection. They worry when the car's low, not when GMOs are grown to turn their children's hearts slow. Not at JP Morgan and Goldman or Wells Fargo. Not when altar voices getting fondled by the cardinal. No, not for climate change or the blood down the grave. Or cops turning blocks to a fucking fire branch. Now they talk about celebs, all the gossip, all the trends. Everybody said the same doctor to the friends. That's expensive Android and iPhone. Whatever's faster, and the next time zone to get it after it goes viral. The prime goal was it distractor, the blindfold. But what do I know? I'm just a rapper.
So you listen to me.
There needs some backup, there's no lyrics.
What you want the truth? Go to God. Go to your guru. Go to your guru. That's good. That's right. Find the real truth. You're never gonna get any truth.
I'm an animation head, so
I'm in the street all day, on my feet all day. If there's a schedule with me, I may not eat all day. My thoughts repeat all day, they bother me all day. So I ain't free to take selfies and tweet all day. I'm crossing T's all day and dotting I's all night. Looking online like these you guys all right. There's a billion closet racists with $1 million wages, and y'all here putting dark filters on your faces. A generation addicted to being seen. We let corruption slide and trip if you're being mean. To me it seems arrogant but mostly embarrassing to share your entire life and post everywhere you've been. Then we care about some shit that matter. We losing more than privacy and a bit of data. They hand us holding handcuffs on a silver platter. It's a blindfold, but what do I know? I'm just a rapper.
We get illusions. It's true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like a tube, you eat like a tube, you raise your children like a tube, you even sex like a tube. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. What are you calling an illusion? So turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Toronto in this bitch, the next
Hey, make some noise for the man, make some noise for the man.
Busy.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me just turn down the second camera here. Alright. So, Matt, welcome to the Seven Shades Lounge, you know what I mean?
Wicked.
And just to jump off the bat, like, we're gonna get into the generic questions. Me and Tony are gonna ask, you know, the generic hip-hop, like, 5 questions, obviously, but what made you do that?
The record or the video?
The whole concept, like...
Blindfold. I mean, I always am super aware of like how social media plays effect on people and like how far we're taking it and how far it needs to be taken or how much it's affecting people. So I just wanted to let people know that, you know, as much as it's a tool that you can use to kind of better yourself, just remember that you become the tool that it's using too. So, you know, I try to just give people a little bit of awareness that You know, it's not just all fun and games. There's always a purpose behind that. So yeah, I mean, I kick a lot of ignorance in my music. So every once in a while, I like to throw a couple of gems just to, you know, just to leave a little bit of a legacy behind for people to listen to. Yeah.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
So Tony, want to hit with generic number one?
Being a Toronto native, what were some of your inspirations here in the T-Dot? Like, what, in terms of,
That's a good question.
I'll even ask off on some like on some real shit, like inspiration, hip hop general, and then what was your inspiration here in T-Dot?
Okay, so I'll start with in general, and I'll get to T-Dot. So in general, and it kind of ties in. In general, my stuff all started with Public Enemy was the first group that I ever heard rap music from, and it's crazy as a kid to hear that as the first thing. It's so much to take in. And then what's crazy was the second tape that I got was a cassette. That's how old I had. The two cassettes I had was a Public Enemy, and right beside it was a 2 Live Crew cassette. So when you get that balance, right away you get to see the directions that hip hop can go in. And honestly, I feel that kind of forms up my own style, is that you can go one way as far as party, have a great time, let loose, but also, you know, make sure that you kick a little sense. Make sure that you leave some knowledge behind. Make sure you drop some gems for people. So yeah, those are my first two. It trickled into BDP, Big Daddy Kane,
What age
Rakim.
did that hit you at?
I was this was like 89 was the year that I jumped in on it.
Okay.
And a lot of albums, so the first Public Enemy album I got was Fear of a Black Planet. So I had to go back to like Nations and like the albums before it. And that's what's good is that I got shown by a lot of older guys, like guys that are like 4 years older than me, 5 years older than me. So they got the chance to show me stuff. So I found all the stuff that was coming out right when I started listening to music, and they were showing me all the back stuff. So they made sure I listened to all the, Kumo D stuff. I was listening to all the, early Big Daddy Kane stuff. Rakim right from the jump, So it was cool, man. I came in at a wicked time of rap music, man. It was right when it started to get kind of lyrical. So yeah. I was blessed to be
What
there
age
at the right time.
if you don't mind me asking, what age you at?
I'm turning 40 this year, man.
Wow, you look mad young, boy. Make some noise for the man. This is 4.0. Oh, my drinkers over there.
That means he definitely grew up in that golden era of hip hop.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's real.
And what's crazy was, so the same cassette tape I had was a Rap Tracks tape, and that's what had like old Will Smith, but it had old had older stuff to listen to or whatever. But it also had Michael Fresh West on it.
Oh yeah.
So when I was listening to Michael, it had "Don't Believe the Hype" by Public Enemy. So that's how I first caught Public Enemy. But it also had Michael Fresh West, so that answers both sides of your question. That introduced me to that, and I was telling the story before. Yeah, like when I was listening to that, I always had the idea that if you did rap music, you came from another planet, you came from another universe or a galaxy I'll never get to.
Yeah.
And then my cousin who was putting me onto these tapes was like, yo, you know this guy's from Toronto, from Scarborough. I was like, what? People from here can do this and can make it to this level? That changed my whole. So up until that point, all I ever wanted to do was draw, like just graphics or whatever it was.
Oh, so you started out in the art.
That's all it was. I was drawing the tape covers, and then what happened was, as soon as I started drawing people like Mike, I was drawing Michael because he had the tux on, but it was easy to draw the tux. I was drawing the Flavor because he had the glasses. The top hat, it was cool, And as soon as you told me, yo, the guy that you drew, the conductor, that guy's from here, and I was just like, yo, these are characters in my head. These are real people. And from then it was done, and I was like, wait, you could be from here? I never drew a thing after that. I just straight wrote lyrics. I was just into rap right from that day forward.
So you're saying like Maestro was like one of the men from here that
kicked it off. And then once I got into the scene, Brass Monk was one of the first.
Yep. S Rock and my man, them brother. Yeah. Agile, everybody.
I'm gonna stretch on all your questions too, because I got
Brass
stories.
Monk,
Honestly,
love always, man. You mean?
Those guys showed me how a stage show was supposed to go.
Oh,
and
they're awesome, man.
I watched that and I was like, oh, you can't slack at all. Like every second was accounted for.
Oh,
and, it
they're
just blew
awesome,
my mind. But
Brass Monk?
Yeah, all of those cats were
My dudes, man. The whole family from them to IRS, the whole monolith cast.
Grew up
mean?
on all those cats, man. So yeah, man, it goes way back. Ghetto Concept.
Yeah.
And that's what showed me all the group is that the fact that squads had come together, and then seeing shows where people were together on the show. Like I would see Dream Warriors on the show with Ghetto Concept. I was like, oh, the city all comes together and watches these cats. I was just hyped. I was geeked off of that, man. That was my upbringing, man. I was just like, yo, I was a fan. Decisive. I used to watch Decisive. Even though he was kind of my age group, I was going to his shows because he was already in the game. And I would go to like Elementals and stuff, and I watch him. I'm like, oh, this guy's rocking the stage, man. It's crazy, man, because even watching shows back then, I was seeing Toronto DJs. And sometimes they would be opening for American DJs, but the Toronto DJs would smash it. And I'm like, it started building a lot of pride in me where I was Toronto's got some.
Who were some of your inspirational DJs?
DJs from here? Oh man, like I loved X back in the day.
DJ X, shout out.
Saturdays,
Original CKLN, man. 88.1. Yeah.
I loved No Bugs, No Boogie.
Yeah.
Those.
Nelly.
Sweet Touch. Like this is me coming up, but Sweet
Oh,
Touch Foundation.
Sweet Touch Foundation.
You got roots.
Oh
You got roots. He's speaking some people,
FaZe,
man.
DJ FaZe. I was.
FaZe, we looking for you soon,
FaZe,
man. Shout out to FaZe.
FaZe, we gotta get FaZe on here
Soon. I hope we see you soon, bro.
Shouts to FaZe, man.
Yeah, man.
NASA
So then you spoke.
Oh, I know.
My man.
That's how we know. But that's how we know each other. Yeah.
My man, that's where we go back because without FaZe, and that's so ill that you brought up FaZe because with myself and Benzo in the later stages of and I wouldn't say later stages of BT, Baggy Trix. Baggy Trix is going to be legendary and always going to live forever.
Yeah.
But when we were going through our changes with certain things and going through experiences in life, myself and Benzo, we always hooked up with FaZe up at NASA, right there at Bathurst and Queens.
Yeah.
Right?
Mr. Palms
right?
down the street.
And from there, I always wanted to let everybody around the world and even the whole of T-Dot know NASA is one of the first places FaZe helped spawn a little spot of hip-hop in the late part of the 90s into the early 2000s that helped spawn into Andy's Pool Hall.
Absolutely, Andy Pool Hall on
College
Street, which was
and
you know how many songs. Like what's crazy is
go in.
You would never go to now. You would never go to a party and not know the records. They play the records that you're expected to hear.
Yeah.
You know how many songs I didn't know who Devin the Dude was until I went to FaZe parties.
Yeah.
I didn't know so many records. I would hear something and he would play the samples behind it.
That's when I started to get Dilla and shit. You play a lot of Dilla
stuff. I probably all learned from
some L's High, like some stuff.
Years, but and he would play the
breaks
samples behind
and the breaks. Yeah, you know that. You know him. He's going. Oh, that was him.
Yeah,
from right back at NASA.
And what was the other place on College further down? Alto Basso.
Alto Basso. That was mostly like Nana on Monday nights.
On Monday, with Nana and Chaos and them. But any place where it was a party, but you could still have breakers break. You had the scene. Honestly, more than the music, more than even all of the good stuff that comes with it. Seeing the scene together is my favorite thing, man. Seeing it from all directions is my favorite stuff from Toronto, man. So anytime there's something where I see people from all directions, that's my favorite.
Is this for real? Is this like?
My shoe? Honestly, I wish it was that game. Like a lot of these are mine, but a lot of these we had to bring in from some of the boys too, just because I don't usually keep the boxes. So I love shoes. Yeah. I'm not as big as a head as some cats. I won't lie. You'll see me with stuff that isn't as original as some of the guys, but I do love sneakers, man. Right. But man, that's just one of it's a cool.
Who ain't a man that don't love sneakers?
I do. Sneakers.
You feel me?
You know what it was? Is when I was younger, sneakers and liquor was the two things that you could always purchase that made you feel that little boost when you couldn't do the things that really should boost you, like buy a house, buy a car, buy whatever. So this was enough to keep you a little bit. So that's why sneakers are always that little special boost you get. So man. Had to do a little anthem for that. And I wanted to do one that wasn't like, every time I hear a shoe song, it's always like Nelly Air Force Ones or like super like, this is kind of like a darker record, so, I felt like that's a cool twist to it.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Respect still.
So first hip hop song or album or tape you ever bought? What's the first shit you ever bought?
I think I stole my first tape. I stole from Santa Record, man. It was Apocalypse 91. What's it called?
You were a true freaking
the Public Enemy, because I was just like, I just had to wait till something else came out.
Real?
It was with Arizona on it. By the time I get to Arizona, I think it was on that. But
I
took it from Music World.
That's Music World. You know what? Because I remember that era too, in the 90s, like especially from late 80s going into the 90s.
Steven the Wax.
I remember even with skateboarding, like for myself too, like even though my son's into that, like I remember with that, it was a thing where I'd be at certain concerts down at Concert Hall, Masonic Temple.
Yeah. That's a young and Apple.
Right, you remember, right?
Yeah,
when they after the later years they changed it into
where the CTV or whatever.
There you go. But that was the spot where we used to go and watch Kane, P.E., Nice and Smooth, you name it, Cypress Hill, everybody, we saw it down right at that spot.
That's crazy.
And man, I remember going to that one P.E. concert, certain one, like, the walls, like, from wall to wall, upstairs, everything was just beat.
First time I saw Terminator X with the crazy
when he put his finger on the thing and said, and made that shit vibrate and made the whole club shake.
I'm bothered. You know what's crazy is that as much as I was a PE fan, I never got to see him live until I was way older. Like probably I was at the docks or Pulse of Beer, whatever it's called. So I never got to see him live until then. But it was still wild though.
You grew up in show. Man, you grew up in like that era.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. And I was not bad, man. So yeah, like that was my stuff, man. And I would study all the lyrics and stuff. That was my shit. It's crazy, man.
Sick.
Yeah.
How was it for you in terms of like, because you see us too as dancers, you know, like us as dancers, we've been brought up around a lot of our own personal artists ourselves, and we saw a lot of the struggles that they've gone through, and we've gone through with them. What were some of the struggles that you had to face in terms of your art?
Honestly, it was more like my neighborhood. My neighborhood wasn't known for something, so I always felt like if I was from a place where people had already succeeded, it would have been a little easier. But nobody around my neighborhood was like, there was a few cats doing it, but they were just rhyming in the park or whatever it was. There was really nobody touring or even putting on shows or whatever. So I had to start from kind of like the ground as far as finding people interested in it and then building it. So that was like kind of the first struggle. And then after that, it was just connecting with other artists and then standing out, because really Toronto has crazy skills. Crazy skills. It's not about like, oh, you know this guy's cousin, so you're in. You have to be nice.
You have to be nice. And now, we're Screwface City.
And that's what I grew up with.
The original people said it, man. Big up to certain people who said that, like Monolith, my man Iris, Corey D's. We're Screwface City original.
Very high standard.
My man Theology 3. He made a song that said, yo, Screwface City. I know Theology. That's one of my people.
I'm in groups with Theo, so yeah.
Thank you, man. That's ill.
Camp X.
You know Camp X. My man Adversary.
Adversary. DJ Grouch.
That's
the Grouch. Yo, man, rest in peace, Mac, man.
Mac. Ooh, my take.
You guys
we go in.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, man. This is great. So. What age? Do you remember the age? What age you got into hip hop music? What was it like?
So I was probably like, I'm so shit at math. I was probably like 9 or 10. I started listening.
Yeah.
I started writing at like 13.
Yeah.
And then like by the time like 15, 16 hit, that's when I started finding guys to rhyme with, trying to go into parks, battling and stuff.
That's how it goes.
I took
that's original.
A bunch of losses. I had a guy who was a little bit older than me, my boy Craven. He used to take me park to park, but like parks where kind of like we would take me to the region, take me to thing, but mostly like Dufferin Park. He'd take me to any cats where there was guys rhyming, and we bring up. I used to walk with a boombox, as cliche as it sounds. I used to walk with a stereo. With
that's real because
Radio Raheem.
Yeah. I know some people that are probably watching this right now that can relate to that. What you just said, that's real, man.
I used to walk around with a stereo.
I'm raised in Jane and Woolner. He's raised in freaking Jane and Lawrence.
Oh shit!
So
I didn't know that.
From Scarlettville to Woolner to Doomstown, everybody down to the whole from south ends of Jane to north ends of Jane to Scar City. Shout out to Scar City. Shout out to the whole Scar City. You know what I mean? The borough is thorough always. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I used to walk with the thing. I used to go to the parks.
It's real. It's real.
And sometimes you lost, sometimes you won. But that's what it was, man. And I loved those days, man. It was just wicked to just roll out and just find other cats that were interested like I was. Because like I said, my neighborhood, you know, they were into it, they would listen to it, but they didn't care to take it further than that. So for me to go find people that were in the DJing, were in the breaking, were in the production, that blew my mind. I was like, okay, now I can connect with that. So that's where I kind of started off. I started finding guys doing that, and we built a little team.
I get it, man, because I know for even us too, like it was the same thing. Like, you know, And shout out to all my downtown people, you know, Regent Park, Esplanade, everybody down there, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, because I know everybody had a base, like, you know what I mean? Everybody was going up through that time, so like, you know.
And for the people that don't know, so what was like the first project where you were like, yo, I'm putting this out?
Oh, putting something on. The very first thing that I was ever like attached to, it was simply called the Intro. So the group of guys that I started connecting with was called the Empire. So they were from all over the city.
Big up to Empire.
You know what it is, yeah.
Big up to Empire. They used to be that comfort zone. Big up to my man there, my man. I know my man. I just can't remember his name right now, but he's the wildest one out of the camp.
Big Tony Tom.
Scandalous. Shout out to him.
Scandalous. I'm also watching Scandalous.
Big shout out to him.
Everybody was, but that's what it was about. It was just they would just steal sharpen steel. So we would just
that's what it is.
We would just take over, and we did. So what happened? What was fucking bugged out about that was, we had my guy producing, and then he was kind of in and out at times. So we needed a producer, and people were hollering, and we kept turning them down. But this guy Noah, who became 40.
40.
Drake's 40.
Drake's 40. Yeah.
He was hollering for months and months and months, trying to get at my guy Tech, who was a part of Empire. Said, "Yo, let me get you guys some beats." Eventually, we said yes. He produced the first thing that I ever was on. So it's crazy.
Wow.
Imagine being the first project you ever on is produced by a guy who's like, you know, crazy with it. Then I start to think everybody's like that. So imagine going to any studio you go to, and all of a sudden the first thing you ever, it's like the first guy you ever played ball against was Michael. You know what I mean? Oh, I thought all the ballers were like this, right? So it's crazy. Like, I lucked out. I'm kind of like a Forrest Gump kind of guy. I stumbled into a lot of wicked stuff, like Andy Poolhall, like the scene, man. Like I fell into so many things. I came up when Elemental was just happening. And you came in at a
time when it was really raw, that last raw element of it. Like,
100%.
Especially here in T-Dot.
100%. I felt like any later, and I probably would have not been interested, and maybe even any earlier, I would have gave up because I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. So I just came right at that right time, man. It's crazy, man. I couldn't have went any different. It's nuts.
Right
but yeah, definitely, for sure.
Okay. And so after the first thing, you know, the first project comes out.
Yeah.
You move forward into making a couple more songs, or do you get right into an album?
We hopped right into the actual full album, which was, I mean, it was like a project for the group, and man, that was just the most bugged out stuff ever, because when we made the album, I kind of knew how stuff was made. I knew I do my verse, here's the beat, and we arranged the hook, and then that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was still Noah doing the production, so we would record a verse, record a record, leave, come back, and the whole thing was remixed. It was done completely different. He'd find a whole bunch of samples, change the drums, and I never knew that that's kind of how it was. So I kind of came in the game with so much innovation around me. Like he was trying out vocoder and auto-tune stuff back in 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
And we were always trying to tell him, yo, toughen up those drums, man. We want drums like Havoc. We don't want these soft drums. And he's just like, nah, these are dope. And then all of a sudden that becomes the Toronto sound. But it's dope, man. It's just like a cool time, and I had the best rappers that I could think of around me, man.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yo, I had to stay sharp because I couldn't be the worst guy on the record, and it's just like a blessed time, man, because so much energy. Things like all TUMFs were going on, so we would go to those parties. Chin picnic, everyone would go out to crazy, man. Caravan, people go out down the street and rhyme on the street, rhyme against Americans.
That's it.
That used to be that's probably my no doubt bro.
My big cousin Shan would always do that too, because he'd be like, yo, let's go down because we're gonna battle somebody.
Yo, believe it or not,
you know what I mean? Like
that's how I originally got in the group. I was going around with the boombox battling cats,
right?
And my boy Scandals was there doing the same thing. And we kind of decided, we're just like, yo, if guys are not as nice as us, we just crush them. If they're better than us or as good as us, we tell them to jump on. And that's how Empire came from.
Let's rub it.
Yeah, that's how cats like Trey got in there, and Tech Man and Pill. Yo, we just had everybody, man. It was like sick, man. It was a good time, man. A lot of energy.
Name some of your fun experiences on some shows.
Oh man, I can't even think. Like, shoot, there's been so many weird, like crazy times. I remember there was. Guys were late to open up for Obi Trice in Montreal, and my boy Skinny jumped out the car and he goes, yo, we're not getting late. He goes to lift the barricade, snaps it in half. All these security guards start rushing him. He's fighting off security guards trying to get us to the show. We end up driving through the whole situation. He was like, just go, go, go. We end up opening for Obi, came back home, and this guy was coming off the precinct steps. trying to justify. Yo, we went out there and had like, fights out there. We were having fights in Hamilton. Man, it's just a crazy effort. A lot of just energy, man. But yeah, I can't even just have to go back and think. Just crazy stuff, man. Opening for Master Ace was nuts.
Right on.
I was beating the chick in the bathroom.
Ace.
And Ace came on and banging on the door like, yo, let me in there. And I was like, yo, hold up. And then I opened the door and he gave me this disappointed look like, yo, it was that reverb, so it was upstairs.
Yeah.
He gave me this disappointed look like, yo, I'm too grown for this shit, man. Get out of here. And I couldn't blame him. So I was like, all right, cool. Then about 3 years later, I got the chance to open up for him again. As soon as he saw my face, he just gave me this, not this guy's. You guys gonna smash chicks in my bathroom there. So yo, it was crazy shit. But yeah, man, I love those days, man. It shows the Ace for being cool about that.
Shout out to Master Ace, the whole
And Reverb? Wow.
Love Reverb, man.
Oh, man.
Love Reverb, Big Bop.
Those are
Big
spots, man.
Holy, was it Joe? Smokey Joe? Holy Joe?
Yeah, Comfort Zone. Then you know what? Supposedly they're opening up the El Macombo again.
Yeah,
Wow.
But I heard
They did
it's a crazy renovation.
Brand new,
yo.
The guy put in millions of dollars into the sound system.
And, I heard it's
crazy
a jazz
performance
station
stage.
because I'm a person. I take
It's at another level over there right now.
Sounds is sounds. So you know what I mean.
Right.
We get
Yeah.
sounds too, right?
Yeah.
So I remember hearing that and I was like, yo, that's one of the original spots. You ever get to throw out
To El Macombo? Yeah. Maybe once or twice there, but then now that's all revamped. I can't wait to go back. They're doing the same thing with my club. At first I thought it was shut down, but I think they're reopening it under a new name. But as long as it's still active, because it was crazy. Is when I was a kid, one of my things, I don't have any kids yet, but I was always like, yo, if I ever have a son, I want to just be able to drive around the city and be like, yo, you see that place there? Let me tell you a story about that place there. Let me tell you a story about that place there. And obviously I wasn't accounting for how much gentrification stuff is going to change the city. So I can't go by Comfort Zone. Can't go by Reverb. It's a furniture store.
Yeah.
Rivoli, how much longer is that going to be there? Mod Club might have been gone. Now it's back. So
it's gone. All the places are gone.
Crazy. So I guess that's what comes with the territory. But I just want to hold on to any of those spots that are still there, man.
Yeah.
Rivoli, Mod Club, stick around, man.
It's in your heart, man. It's in your heart.
I need that
That's what you
history,
did
man.
it.
I love performing at Comfort Zone.
Oh, Comfort Zone is,
Comfort Zone
and
is
the
dope.
thing about Comfort Zone, it has that intimate feeling. So
No, if you reach your hand up, you touch the ceiling.
My-
And it's
my man.
and the stage was this much higher than
Right?
the crowd.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really,
so
your eyes
you're
are just
with
here.
everybody.
You're in the
Yes,
crowd,
and
and
everybody's with you.
to do a show there. I remember in the same weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
I went to the Slum Village show there.
On the Elemental Slope,
Yeah.
Crazy. I went to a J-Room show there
Yeah,
where there was
it
no
was
room to
J-Room.
move your
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
That's how crazy packed it was. But
Did we bring him for one of the Blueprint for Life?
Yeah, we
brought him for one of the
a lot.
original Blueprint for Life.
He
you know
DJ'd
what I
at
mean?
Andy's Wall.
Who that?
I didn't know that. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Jay Rue the Damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he came up for a few.
He came through and was like, I want to DJ at Andy's. We're
I
like,
think
sure.
I think even I don't know. I can't remember if it was a couple nights before that or after that we saw Fat Lip from Far Side.
Far Side here?
Came
Yeah.
back
Oh,
said, "Yo,
man.
you did the welcome to my show."
That's
That
fucking
was
dope.
I said, "Yo, that night was something different." But
It's crazy when cats come up here and catch the city at the right time too. Man.
right?
I just saw the name Big Sprox. Let's talk about that real quick. That that project.
Yeah, man. So right, kind of when I was coming off of the Empire project, when that run was done, we did a good decade run.
Yeah.
When that was done, I was kind of quitting at a time. I was just in and out, doing a couple singles, but kind of moving on.
Yeah.
And Sprox was like, "Yo, we gotta do this group project, which is the Freedom Riders."
Yeah.
Which was it felt like Empire all over again. It had Juggernaut, Frankie Payne.
Frankie, yo, he has a new album out. Big up Frankie.
Hold on, let me pause on this for 1 second. Yo,
Touch that.
there is a new video from Juggernaut coming out.
Fix it.
I can't even tell you, bro. It's just wicked, man. This guy is not only did he not slip, not only is he still the same. This guy's better than he's ever been. Yo,
The new
Juggernaut
one, right?
is a gem to this city. A
Mhm.
gem in this city.
Yeah, man.
Yo, his newest video is gonna crush it. But anyhow, he was on the group. Theo 3 was in the group. My man Progress, who was crazy with it, is in the group. Who am I missing? Tona. My right guy Tona was in the group. So Sprox came up with this group idea. Mathematic was on the album. So he was just like, yo, let's get a project going that's a little bit more kind of socially conscious. So I was like, yeah, 100%, let's do it. And that's kind of what got me back in the game along with the Naturally Born Stranger stuff. And after that Freedom Rider album was done, we just decided to do some solo stuff together called Larstone, Live from Larstone, which is where his studio was. And yeah, man, we just did this project, and I just wanted an album that I felt I could listen to top to bottom, man, and that's what I was trying to do with it, really. So that song Blindfold that we had on earlier, that was on it. This joint here, Sister Bessie, is on it. Yeah, man, I try to do a lot of like concept records, a little bit of straight spitting, but you know, a little bit of both stuff that I came up on. But yeah, these are good times, man. Sprox knows how to put together an album.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Sprox
honestly,
didn't adversary work with Sprox.
Yeah.
I know that name, man. I know that
Point
name.
Blank.
big up to
Big up to Point Blank too. You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
all
honestly.
the boys, man. Down there in Region Park.
Region,
there,
yeah.
You know, you done know.
I hope folks could eventually do like a proper documentary on Toronto history, man. Like a proper one that could be shown to the world, because there's so much good history out here that needs to be like explained and shown how it connects to everything, man. Crazy.
Well, that's the whole purpose of even us just here sitting talking with you,
Yeah.
is because everything needs to be documented, right? There's none of it, and we need more of it. Of course, there's a couple of people out there interviewing.
And it's beautiful.
You know,
Sure.
Get this
but-
stuff, like,
Anytime somebody does it, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, and,
Yeah.
and then we're really gonna start digging deep and more into like the graffiti artists and the big girls and you know.
All those guys that built the scene, all the girls that beat the scene.
Yeah,
like, yo,
yeah,
this was
female
built on
that's why it's
MCs,
called the Elements.
Yeah,
Straight up.
female DJs, like a lot of people that don't get interviewed that I think should receive their flowers, especially like there's Eloquence. We can go on names like
Eloquence is
yeah,
bad,
you know what I'm
DJ. Yo,
saying?
she's crazy with
We
it.
can go on and days for names with who really put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this.
I was just even reading today, somebody had made that point that I was just, Shock G Pass from Digital Underground.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
yo, he should have had a drinks
Rest in
chance or
paradise.
something like that where he could talk about all his stories.
Yeah.
And the fact that you let people go before they get the chance to kind of like tell everything about themselves and how their lives went.
Thank
That's
you.
a shame. That is
And
a crazy shame. So I'm
That
glad
is
you guys are doing
such
this
a
stuff.
good thing that you
Yeah.
mentioned something like that, because me, this brother, and a lot of us in the family, in the camp, we've always talked about this. Like, you know what? We always want to live life and celebrate in the right way. Why? Because guess what? Why are we waiting for somebody's eyes to close? And then that's when we learn to tribute it.
Yes,
When
it's
we
too
can
late.
tribute that person, right?
So they could feel that love, man. Agreed, 100%.
You feel
That's
me?
a good point. Yeah, man, 100%.
I
Big
know.
love.
Thank you.
Bless
man.
you guys for doing this, man, because this is
that's
important
awesome,
stuff.
man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Because you
Honor
can
them
easily
while
not
they're
do it,
living.
and by doing it, just makes that
Straight,
culture,
right.
pushes it even further.
Yeah, because for me, and it's the reason why we started it was because, it was not like, it's like being at home and watching all of this happening, because, the videos and even going to the shows and watching people perform and do their thing and being that close to them and realizing that, fuck, these people are amazing.
Mhm.
Let's shine some light on the subject and show the depth of how deep our city really is, you know what I mean?
100% before we lose them, man.
Yeah, before everybody's gone, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that we need to talk about that, that needs to be documented right away. Like especially the jams that used to happen. You guys were mentioning that earlier. I didn't want to stop that flow, but
Yeah.
the jams were like probably the most important thing. And then you mentioned the DJs and then the college radio shows.
Yeah.
That was like the blood. That was like the vein. That was like.
Those three things is what raised me in this era, in this area.
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? If you were struggling to get a little 93.7 WBLK back in the day, you know what I'm saying, man?
Running the wire.
Running the wire.
Did you ever get a chance
Run
to
your
get
wire.
someone live in the barbecues?
I was at the one, the anniversary one they did, but I never got to go to the old school.
original
like,
one.
Oh, the original ones.
The anniversary
Yeah.
one they did it.
Yeah, those were monsters.
Oh,
But,
man.
That's ill that you got to go
To the-
at least like
Yeah.
one of the last of.
But you could see that.
Yeah.
You could see how
Oh,
many people
man.
were involved in the scene. That
Man,
yeah, and I
live
hope they
at
can
the
still do
barbecue
something like
was
that.
lit.
Crazy.
That's
That's what it was all about.
Adam,
Classic, those some classic moments,
Come
man.
on now, man.
But
That's
I'm glad the
dope.
city always knew that we had to do stuff like that, man. There's so many places that make the music or are a part of the culture, but they don't they don't merge together like that. Toronto has mad moments, man, like mad, and we always have these little things that keep it going, man.
Yeah,
And I just hope that never ends. Even if whatever stops, the new generations have to continue that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't ever let that fall apart, because that's what makes from Caravana to TUMF to, like you said, live at the barbecues to
all
events.
all those hip hop
Yo,
festivals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
From
Afrofest, all of them.
Yeah,
Afrofest,
all of them, even from Manifesto to even Unity, those guys doing their thing.
Straight up, bro. That shit, like, keep that culture going, man.
right?
Because the day that everyone just starts to do it for themselves and doesn't do it for a scene, is the day it starts falling apart. And I don't ever want it to get to that point, man. So
Yeah, man.
Straight.
Dope. Yeah. So now going forward, how are you dealing with
all of this?
The situation.
Honestly, the music's been a crazy blessing, man. I can't imagine what this last year would have been if I didn't have this to go the opportunity to go record, to go write and just to go build and just listen to music again. Because honestly, just doing that in my own spot, I would have went crazy. So I got a studio that's just a few streets away from where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, if I'm not home, I'm there, and all that. So it's giving me the opportunity to build a catalog or whatever. I did a lot of stuff with NBS, Strangers. A lot of stuff with Tona. Starting to do stuff with Decisive right now. Man. And then a lot of features, and then just solo stuff, and I got some stuff.
So what was that I saw the other day with you and Tona?
At the studio?
Yeah.
Chances are that was probably an MDS session, National One Stranger session. So we're going to do a sequel to the first album that we did. We released the first 2 singles.
So talk about the first album you guys did, because that was insane.
Oh yeah, man! So that was with Brian B from Legends League. He just wanted to put out some clothes. And he was just like, yo, I'm gonna put up these clothes called Naturally Born Strangers on the clothes. And he wanted to just make like an instrumental CD to go with it. So he hit up Rich Kid and he was like, yo, Rich, do you want to make like an instrumental CD?
Big up Rich.
Shouts to Rich Kid, my favorite, man.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta talk about some of the producers, man.
We're gonna definitely.
So he hit him up to do the thing, and then Rich was just nice enough to be like, yo, can we get people to rhyme on this? He's like, who you thinking? And he said Tona and Adam. So he pulled me out the woodworks. I was pretty much ready to quit. This was the same time as Freedom Riders came on. So I was just ready to kind of say goodbye. And that came at the same time as the Freedom Riders. And I was just like, I got to take this chance. There's no way I'm going to mess up rhyming with Rich Kid or rhyming with Tone. I got to just see how this goes. And then we ended up doing it. We ended up doing that show at the Mod Club as the release. That was a crazy experience. And then after that we got the Juno nods. We got some Much Music Video Award nods, and I was like, oh shoot! So I get what happens if you give this your full effort. You go somewhere with it. If you put one foot in and one foot out, you stay in that medium level. So you really gotta commit yourself, and that's the first thing that showed me. If you care about this, if you want to leave a legacy of music, you got to give it your all effort. So that's what I've been doing, man.
That's crazy. That's
dope, man. Straight up, man.
That's
Shouts to all of those guys for giving me that shot. Cause I easily would have quit, man.
Yeah, man. No, because you've dropped some heavy stuff, man. Like you have a lot of music that actually myself as a b-boy I listen to.
I appreciate that, man.
That I dance to. You know what I mean? So
sick, man.
It relates because a lot of music that they make nowadays isn't for us to like actually.
That's a good point. That's true. It's so removed from that.
Yeah.
That's true. So I'm glad that there's still folks doing that. And honestly, that comes up from where I came. So
man,
I gotta be doing that.
Well, I find more of that is coming out right now, actually.
For sure, you'll always find it in pockets. There's always somebody that's still bringing that stuff. But, I came from those ways. It was like cats like. Sprox always has those b-boy breaks, and Tone Mason and Soundsmith and Rich Kid knows how to rock it like that. But there's tons of great producers out here. So
okay. Generic question number 3, I think. Favorite MC.
This is Canadian, or this is
just favorite MC
all time.
My favorite.
Or do you want to do a top 5?
You can go top 5 if you want. Top 5.
See, every time
what's your top 5 or top 10?
My 5th spot always changes, but the other 4.
Okay.
You want to
go 10 then?
Yeah.
No, give it.
This is Toronto. Give him 10. Okay, so let's go with your top 5.
Top 5. My number 1 MC of all time is Black Thought. Because the way I rate rappers,
you're safe here.
You're
safe here, brother.
I remember you saying that. Remember when we were downstairs and we were the whole.
Spadina? Was it?
Yeah.
Because the way that I rate a rapper is if you say something or do something that makes me say, yo, I wish I did that, or I wish I came up with that, then you're always going to be respected by me. Even if you do it once. You did something that made me say, I wish I said that. Black Thought never doesn't say that. Like every line, I was just like, this guy fucking did it again.
Yo, he's a problem.
He did it again.
He's a problem.
And he's
No, he's a
getting
problem.
better. And
He's a
like,
problem.
it's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
He's
So
a
like,
monster.
That funk
He's a
master
monster.
flex that he did.
I watched that. That should be in a museum.
He's a
Yeah,
monster.
honestly.
It will be. It will be.
Yo,
I guarantee it will be.
I'm not one of those guys that
I
that wilds
guarantee
out at
that's
any
a
moment.
that's a
makes
past
me
10-minute
geek out.
freestyle.
That's not even just a rap, bro. That is an exhibit
He-
of genius.
Yeah,
bro. You
Yeah.
he
can't do
went
that.
in.
Let me even
He
explain
went
how
in.
ill that is to people who've seen it. If you haven't seen this, go watch the Black Dot 10-minute freestyle on Funk Flex. For
Oh.
one, the speed at which he raps. To be able to rap for 10 minutes at that tempo
Speed, yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
To memorize what he did in 10 minutes is
That is
insane.
insane.
And my guess is that's probably like 6 verses combined, and
Yeah.
he blended them flawlessly.
Flawlessly.
To knock it out in one take is insane.
Yeah.
To drop it without
No
no
pause.
hesitation,
No
nothing,
pause.
one drop,
One
done.
drop.
Oh no, he's an MC.
Like he's
Yeah.
hey.
To the core.
He's
And everyone
an
says, yo,
MC.
if I was from 4 years from
Lyricist.
now and someone said, yo, explain to me what MCs
Oh, yeah.
were, show this video.
Oh.
Wake up everybody.
It's just,
Thought is one of the man them.
Yeah.
that's just
Thought
what it
is
bro.
one,
You know what I'm saying?
and you know the funny thing,
Yeah,
on the popularity scale, that how people might, just like how
Yeah.
we know it.
yeah,
Popularity scale, how people look at it,
yeah.
they're not gonna even think about Black Dot. But then guys like us, we know like
And-
no,
and
no,
no,
are you a pro? Are you, something wrong with you?
It's just a problem.
Something
with
wrong
every
with you?
record,
It's
man.
not. If Thought ain't in something.
In your list, and I
That's
can't
like saying
talk to you
Pharaoh
about
Monch ain't in that.
Pharaoh's up
It's a
there too,
problem.
man. See, Pharaoh's one of those guys that always touches
Pharaoh's
that
a
spot.
problem too.
Yo, I was listening to Behind Closed
Woo!
Doors. You know, it's crazy. I was listening to that today. I was just like, yo, this guy is
Even though
bananas,
that Cold
man.
45.
Cold
that-
45, boy.
Yo,
That,
Oh.
Black Hand Side from Pharaoh and Fonte is one of the illest
13.
records, man. Yo, Pharaoh's crazy too. I could give that guy his flowers all day too. Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
When he did the, I'm saying, he goes, I pop, lock, and drop. Yo, he dropped this whole line
Yeah.
on the Sox record on Innovate.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Blew
Big
my
up to
brain,
Socrates.
man.
He's
Yeah,
done
shouts
on
to
socks,
Socks.
big
Yeah.
socks,
Grew
baby.
up on Sox. Another man who deserves his flowers
Oh,
at
yeah.
all times, bro, because that guy's crazy. So
So
anyhow, that's my
whole
whole
Father Time family, the
Hopefully we
original
can,
family.
hopefully we can give all those guys their flowers on this show.
You will, you will.
And
Hey,
he's got class.
shout out to all of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but that's my one. That's my.
We
my
work
top
with
one.
those guys a lot.
Having
So
bombs on the show,
that's
yeah.
family. You know what I mean?
Straight.
That's all family.
Straight.
It's crazy how everybody is close like that.
Yeah, and it's all everyone's
Beautiful.
one step away. Everyone's
Yeah.
one step, which is what I love about it too, man. Even till now, if you're on the come up, chances are you're one step away from someone that did something around the scene. So yeah, but anyhow, Thought's my one. Number 2, I gotta give Jay.
Okay.
Jay is my number 2, just because to be that great for that long is remarkable, right?
Yeah.
I say Big is 3.
Yeah.
And just cause Big, man, you don't even need explanation for Big. And then probably 4 is Nas or Scarface. Scarface is actually up there, man. I love storytelling. I love.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people think that you
Who?
gotta be super.
Scarface?
Yeah, a lot of people think you gotta be super
Yeah.
complicated when you rhyme and everything's gotta match. Scar just
Yeah.
puts it together exactly how it should be done with no extras needed. And bro, I just appreciate that kind of hip hop.
And he's like the face of the South. He killed that. His whole shit is
The
like
whole
He
scene
ended
has
up
to
running
bow
that
down.
himself,
Yeah.
right?
Crazy, and has some classic albums.
Oh,
Fix,
his
Maze
catalog is
great.
insane.
Yeah, like he's got some great albums. So yeah,
Fix,
and
that
then yeah,
album is
so like 5 can always be, anybody really at any time. Could be Rakim, it could be Nas, it could be
Yeah.
shoot, man. Like I always depends on who I've been listening to recently. I was just watching that Illmatic documentary that they got
Yeah.
on, and so I'm gonna throw Nas on the 5th. But yeah, Nas is
Yeah.
brilliant too, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's still
Problem.
brilliant, bro.
Brilliant.
He's top.
Problem.
The only thing that ever
Problem.
lowers him is beats. Because if you just let him rock on a great beat every time,
Yeah.
he's 10 out of 10 every time. The verse is 10 out of 10 every time. Just depends on if you like the beat or not. That's
Yeah,
all it
for
is.
real, for
Nas
real.
is perfect every time on the
Trust
on the
me.
verse.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much my.
Oh, yeah, I remember this video with Nas in it too.
Yeah.
I like Ferg a lot too, man. Ferg is dope.
Yeah, they go off on.
Sick.
Yeah, some you.
I like this bridging too. It's sick to see like the generations. Yeah, bang.
Well, yeah. We
What's your
have to-
video catalog on, brother? Like, in terms of
Who am I watching? As far as
no, in terms of what you in terms of videos you built.
Oh, put out and stuff?
Yeah.
So I got like, so depending on what the group is that I'm with, there's usually like a video for it. East to
Real
west, north to
native,
south, man. I love
Real
the city.
Toronto native,
That's
man.
it.
That's
see,
it.
see
man.
that hat? That's a
Beautiful
Christy
years, man.
Pitts Leafs hat.
Yeah,
Baseball
yeah,
team.
yeah.
That's what that hat is.
Yep.
That's sick. So
I was
man,
about to
represent
say.
them still.
Holy.
It's such a like a old school kind of video, but yeah, man, I like just rocking out for Toronto, man. I hope, and I liked it before it was the place to be, and I'll like it after it's not the place to be. It's always gonna be the place to be for cats that came up in this scene.
Right.
But yeah, man, shouts to the city.
Yeah, man. Cheers to that. Yo, I have my water now too.
Yo.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, 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 cheers.
Salute,
Yeah.
man, brother. Salute, man, my
Yeah.
general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Last generic
man.
favorite producer.
City now, or is this also?
You can do both.
You know what? Producer. Here's the one thing I wanted to mention that a lot of cats don't mention, because everything, for sure I'm gonna say Dilla, for sure I'm gonna say Primo, for sure I'm gonna say the guys that you know we're all gonna say.
Yeah.
The one cat that I don't think gets his respect is High Tech.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Buck,
Yeah.
Buck.
Greatest
Yeah, man.
producers in the world.
Yeah.
Did you
And
hear
like-
what he did on that last joint with Dilla and Snoop and
Maybe I have it. I didn't even know it was him. Yeah.
It's gangsta.
And it's
gangsta.
bro.
It's gangsta.
High Tech is
Yeah.
fantastic.
High
man.
Tech did that, and people thought it was Dilla that did that, but Dilla put it on that last album.
Okay.
That was High
Yeah,
Tech.
that's High
Oh,
Tech.
that
beat.
one. Okay.
That's
see?
High Tech that
So-
did that, man. People slept.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's mad producers.
Tech is ill, man.
I
I
know, for
mean,
sure. I love
yeah,
it.
you're right. You're right. The
Alchemist.
people are like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
Alchemist,
High
yeah.
Tech is ill.
Alchemist is my
Alchemist.
guy.
Yeah,
love,
for real.
Yeah, man. Like, but I mess with all the the new cats too is dope. Man, shouts to Boy Wonder. Even the hometown cats are crazy with it.
Yeah.
Rich Kid is one of my favorite on
Yeah.
either side of the border, man. He's just bananas. Honestly, whether a beat is from wherever, if it makes me want to write to it, I'll
Yeah.
rate you as a producer. And Richie, as soon as a beat drops, I'm just like, I got 4 bars, I got 8 bars. He's just one of those guys. I don't need to go home. It's just let's just drop it, and I'm in on it.
Yeah.
And like cats like Pete Rock do that for me.
Ah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can always give the classic cats, but yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love all those just the classic characters out here.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yo.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. I just asked because
No,
as
yeah,
an
no.
MC, you would probably have like a sound that you.
Yeah,
that you would
go
after,
towards
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I love that. I love all. And honestly, man, I love Just Blaze. Just Blaze is also one of my favorite.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
I love Blaze, but like these are like older heads. I'm sure there's new cats out here too that are making some great stuff that I didn't realize even made all of that.
So what do you think about the new movement of like the music, like for example the Brazil, the sound that's coming out,
I love that. I mean, my whole thing, the thing about hip hop, and my whole thing about it is because we've hit such great levels in almost all directions.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of genius to come up with new ways to push the culture in a new way. Because you can't top certain things, and I just mean technical wise. You're not going to technically be a better rapper than a G rapper or a pun. Technically, you're not going to.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to match words as nice or better.
That's
So it's
what
very
I said
hard.
that.
So
Yeah, so-
people hate on cats that do trap, or they hate shit that like the drips. They don't like this newer stuff. But you got to think about it. These kids are coming off hearing cats like 50 do amazing records, like Kanye coming up with amazing production.
Yeah.
Drake being able to knock out a balance like that, and then going back to cats like Jay and not. You have a lot of stuff that are like that's off the table. I can't beat that. So how can I do something new? You can't knock the culture for coming up with a new direction. It's just now cats like Griselda, which is wicked because as much as people push it in that direction,
Yeah.
there's still that 20 years from now, there's still gonna be cats like this that just know how to, hit you in the heart with those raw lines. And like I love cats. One of my favorite cats out is this cat named Ka. And I don't even know if that's his name, Ka or Ka. He rolls with Marciano, Rock Marciano.
Oh, it was the Rock Marcel.
Crazy.
DJ,
So there's
boy.
always, Rock Marcy's dope, man. So there's always these cats out there that are never gonna let the culture
What's
get
wrong?
too crazy. But
Sorry guys.
yeah.
The live keeps getting paused for some reason.
Oh, it's getting frozen?
Yeah.
Bad connection maybe?
Oh, there it is. It's back, is it?
Maybe there's a lot of us on the stream. No, we're good.
On the internet?
Cause I noticed it
Yeah, it keeps pausing or whatever. But
You guys see it there.
I see it.
Yeah.
It was happening there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pausing over here too.
So then that's the thing.
So he's back again now.
Oh, it's back again.
We'll just blame Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Technical difficulties.
But that records no matter what, right?
And I'm Virgin.
No, it's
Oh,
frozen.
see,
It
yeah.
won't record.
I'm Virgin Mobile.
You frozen?
I don't deal with rappers.
No, it's back.
Virgin, I tell us.
Is that what that is? Yeah, but you tell us.
Virgin is tell us.
Okay.
Yeah. And
We're just gonna say
and
that
next
was
up.
whack what you did.
What's
Rogers.
Bell with? 'Cause I know
Bell is
I'm
Freedom.
Freedom.
AT&T.
We're
in
good
the
back?
States. It's
Fuck
AT&T.
all of that bullshit. But at the end of the day, yo, no, you know what? That's ill. I love what you said there, man. And when you talk about MCs that were slept on too, like I even think like one of our own greatest here too, man. Like he's my brother, man. That's a good friend, and I appreciate him too. Like Cardi,
Mhm.
you know, Shocks, Shock Cleasy, you know, Shock Clear.
The
Like,
circle.
you know what I mean, there's certain brothers
I
like you
came
know,
up on the circle.
Rolo Dollar,
Yeah.
you know, there's certain brothers like that like. And I like what you said, like.
What's that joint from Road Dogg? Sorry, this sounded
Oh,
Baby Blue. Boom, boom, boom.
You change. Oh.
That's
No, things change. Things don't change.
You change. You change. That's
You
it.
change.
Crazy.
That's my
Yeah.
joint.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's the
change,
stuff I
girl.
came up on. Yeah.
That socks singing on the
What's
Russia.
wrong, girl?
Crazy
Oh,
bass,
what's
bass on that is
wrong,
nuts.
girl?
But yeah, no, Cardi's crazy.
Oh, man.
Cardi's one of those guys too
Yeah.
that you can't put like I'm a fan of guys like Busta that put on a crazy show.
And when you know Busta to put him
Oh,
on a
when
remix,
those
you know
guys
that's
perform.
Cardi B. That's
I can't imagine.
he's
Like,
feeling Cardi.
I
You
came up
know.
a little bit later than Cardi's, Firestarter days. It was just around that time. But I can't imagine what it must have been like if he was opening up for cats, because he must have put guys on their heels. Like, you watch Cardi live,
Yeah.
you don't want to follow that shit.
I think
You don't wanna
Cardi
follow
was
that
on
shit.
even the remix for
There's an Akon track.
No,
Oh,
that
Brian-
one
Brian
Wu-Tang,
Day?
that
Oh.
one Wu-Tang track there, Click Clack. Something in the crowd went,
Oh, really?
the
Yeah.
box cutter went.
Oh,
Yo, Cardi sat on that rhythm,
was it?
brother. I remember at one of the shows,
Even the
that
grind
IRS opened up.
He crushed the grind.
Yeah,
remix.
Oh,
To be honest,
yeah.
I think my favorite Canadian rap record of all time is Old Time Killin'. My favorite.
Yeah?
Old Time Killin' is like,
Yeah.
you can play that in
That's
any
a
jam,
yeah,
from the
yeah.
beat
Yeah.
to the bars to the patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's-
that is
that's
a
gonna
good
be a classic.
representation
That's
of
a
Toronto.
classic.
shit,
Yeah, that's
right?
gonna be a classic.
But yeah, that's my favorite Toronto record, I think.
Definitely.
Who are some of your female MCs for your T that?
And T-Dot? Oh, I love Tara Chase. Although she was
Yeah.
Montreal, but I think Tara Chase
No,
still.
no.
Tara, big up Tara.
It's the
I loved. There used to be a girl named Namiza when I came up. She was cold. I
Okay.
loved Eternia was cold.
Attorney, yeah.
MC wise, there's a lot of good singers. Who else is good? Who am I missing? I know I'm missing a few
Oh
folks.
man.
Uh,
in.
Missy.
Yeah!
Absolutely, Missy. Oh, for sure, Missy's
Yeah.
the queen. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's crazy, man. Girls was killing it too, man.
Yeah. Those days were
Crushing
hard
the
too,
stage.
man. Like I seen it for them too. So,
Yeah, man. Those dope too, man. Yeah.
Motion.
Motion.
From,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, show some motion.
Power
man.
Move Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And T Soul, which was her partner.
Yeah.
T Soul was her partner.
I think so.
Something like that. But anyway,
Yeah. No, there was classic.
Yeah.
Honey Jam. On a Honey Jam.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need you. Oh.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yo, I heard they're having one this
There's so
weekend
many.
here.
There's so
See that?
many.
They're still pushing that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
Yeah.
still pushing. There's, I think it's, is there a
For
virtual
Sunday.
one?
No. Yeah. They're having that and they have Swagger right on
Who's
Saturday.
nice? Sorry, female now. Jelly Two Fly. Jelly Two Fly's crazy, man. Jelly Two Fly's nice.
Oh, word.
She's dope. She's from the city, man. She's
Yeah?
crazy. Yeah, chick take her in. Yeah, she's
Okay.
Jelly
crazy
Two
with it.
Fly.
Jelly Two Fly. Dope.
Okay.
Dope rapper. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yo. That's
Yes.
dope, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for coming through,
You
my
never
brother.
gotta ask me, man. I'm always around.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
My guy,
yeah.
yo. We can holler at you guys.
Yeah.
My man.
So hopefully when you drop your new stuff, right?
Coming just now. Pool Eyes will be out soon.
Yeah, tell people how to reach you on.
The Legend A Bomb on Instagram. Just hit me up atombomb.ca and then you can find me from there, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll have you back, and then hopefully when we set up, we can maybe just have you come in and just drop a track when we set up.
No question. No
Live
question. I have
on
a lot of new
spot.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
We're gonna get performances
Yeah,
coming to y'all,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
soon. We're gonna get some ill MCs like my man Adam Bomb up in here doing some
Right.
live performances right on the spot.
Dope.
Make the spot very hot just for y'all.
All right, yo. So thanks, man, for coming out. Episode 6,
This is Elements.
The Elements.
Bam, bam.
Adam Bomb. Peace.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Baby,
Next up.
baby, baby.
Guys, yo. Appreciate it once again, guys. Yo, good to build it up together, man.
Oh,
It's like,
man.
I love that shit. Oh, this guy's got some classic albums out here.
Yeah.
Nice heat. Jeez. Oh, my man, yo, good to see you, right?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna catch you guys soon, yeah. You picked the right spot too. I had to be down the block later, so I was like, oh, this is perfect, man.
Yeah, when you told me that too, I was like, yeah.
See you, guys.
This is the Seven Shades Lounge. This is the reason why we have
My guy.
access to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna jump out of here just now. Yo, respect.
Yes, man. Respect for giving me the time, man. Respect, dog.
I put these guys on DJshows.com, my live DJ show.
Uh-huh.
Fucking killed it.
That's sick.
It was one of the highest rated fucking shows. Remember that show?
Which was the DJ? What?
A lot
DJshows.com.
about you, about
Sure,
connections.
very
and
nice.
shit.
Upstairs, yes.
Hopefully Tony's
yes,
home.
yes,
Yeah, remember when I put
Yeah,
the
we
whole
can see it.
floor?
You guys got it on
Remember I had
live
the
or no?
fucking levitating DJ booth?
Huh?
He was recording
You guys
it
are-
too on the phone.